2, 1. Hello again!
Hello everyone, how are you?
Minami and Ayaka here again. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good and I hope you guys are doing great and I'm happy to see you back again.
Yes, me too. Not that we are actually seeing you, but
Yeah,
have you?
I'm expecting you guys are here and watching us here and listening to our voice here. So
Yeah, thank you for
yeah.
listening. And yes, today we are again going to talk in English. I hope you still enjoy listening to us in English. But yes, the topic of today is why we decided to live abroad or study abroad.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Hmm.
So this
Ayaka,
time,
Mhm.
yes,
Sorry,
me.
Ayaka chose Australia, and
Yes.
I decided America
Yes.
to first study or live abroad for the first time, leaving Japan when we were a
Yeah.
lot younger. So yeah, we will talk our own each side of story
Experiences.
or each story. But shall we start with you?
Yeah, you can. Okay. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to speak a bit slowly because it might be some of you find it difficult to understand my Australian accent or something, which is far different from how Minami is speaking. So yeah, I hope that you guys can understand me. Yeah, all right, so let me begin. So I left Japan when I was 18. And all right, so moving back to why I decided to leave Japan is because it's gonna be a little bit long story, but try to make it short.
Question. I have a question already. Was it after the end of high school period already, or why was it 18? Like, what were you doing? You were 18 when you decided to leave.
I I used to play softball a lot, and um my initial dream was to become professional softball player, and I started training myself since I was only 5, having you know determination and a dream to become a professional softball player and to play softball in Olympics. So that was my initial dream when I was very, very little. So I had a long dedication towards training, and since I also had a little difficult time studying in the elementary school and junior high because I was super active, kind of like this so-called hyperactive. So for me, it was a little bit difficult to stay in a classroom taking 45 minutes classes, just sitting and listening to the teacher's voice. I occasionally looked through the windows in order to distract myself, in order to avoid making noise or something because already I was proactive. But that behavior that I was taking at the time tended to make students, a teacher, very mad because they saw me that I wasn't listening to them. Then they sometimes asked me to answer some questions. But the thing is, my ears were always working, so I did listen to them even though my eyes are somewhere around. So I was always able to answer to the questions. But that also made them even mad. Then I didn't really understand why I did that because they asked me a question, I did answer to them. But this made them even more frustrated, and they ended up telling me to go to the principal room or somewhere. Then because I always became aggressive because I didn't understand why they're mad at me. Then I just simply talked back to them. Why are you so angry with me? Because I did give you a right answer. But that happened lots of time when I was elementary school. Then I started hating school a lot, and my mom and dad found my kind of like great talent when it comes to athletic skills. Then they decided me to put in more sports field rather than school field. So that's why my life shifted from school into the training more and deeply, and just more often. So the more I, of course, train myself harder, the more I was able to develop my athletic ability and became a better player. And so the thing is, school, I mean, I had a very good friend in a school, but school wasn't my place to be accepted or admitted or even praised. But in a sports field, was my place to be accepted and praised a lot. And that's why I found a place to be my place to be. So I was into playing sports and just practicing a lot. So that's when I was elementary school. In junior high, just I was more shifted into sports rather than school. Then I was selected in it's not a national team, but like let's say Kanto region team or something. So even though I had a team in my junior high, but I was also selected in a different team as well. So I became even more hectic when it comes to playing softball. So that's why I didn't really stay in a junior high as as much as other students did, and same as when I was high school. So that was my life before going to Australia. And actually I was very successful until the age 17. So
softball player, or were you a pitcher?
Short stops and third stops. I'm a tiny and very quick, so yeah. So even though I'm tiny, but like I was good at running very fast, so and I was a quick mover, so I could just jump into many places, get the ball. So that's why I was pretty much like Ichiro type player, not like a big guy hitting home run all the time, but like I was really like Ichiro type one.
Right.
So yeah, I was very successful being just winning lots of championship thanks to my teammates as well and coaches and like support from my parents and being selected a very prestigious team as well. And before I graduated from high school, I got a sponsorship from two companies and I and I got a chance to play softball in a company team like Jitsugyodan. So I got it. But after 2 months of that I received the sponsorship, I got an accident and I just injured my right shoulder and so I had to be in the hospital for a few months. Not few months, a month, I think. So I still remember that the moment it was in a practice match. And I was just running to get a point, but when I reached my arm and when the catcher player of the opponent team touched my shoulder, just my shoulder was just like this, and I still remember the sound of my shoulder rocking.
Yeah.
And then I just passed out. Then when I was already in a hospital and I woke up with acute pain and approached me and said to me it would be difficult to get back to professional player once again. So
like
I picked up
it's a movie story, Ayaka.
but it happens, I took operation and I took rehabilitation. I could play softball in a recreational level right now still, but I could still make people, my teammates, happy by my performance. I could still do that, but I can see the gaps between who I was and who I am right now. So that made me difficult to so then that was the hardest time for me. Then after after being discharged from the hospital, I have to go through a very hard moment because all my friends were related to softball, and wherever I went to, or whatever I saw, or whoever I saw, just everything and everyone reminded me of myself being softball player, which I could never take back. So
Yeah.
then I thought I didn't want to stay in Japan anymore. Then I asked my mom and dad, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to even kill myself because there's nothing. Without softball, I don't have anything at the time. Then just my mom and dad are really nice. They are nice and nicely unique. So they said, like, you're not only in Japan, so why not go in some other countries and see and discover yourself? And then just go somewhere no one knows you. Then you will feel something else. Then I chose Australia to go. Then that gave me a new lease of life. I saw a lovely friends there, even though I couldn't speak English, but I had a wonderful time there, making family like friends there, acquire a kind of like English skills. Then, yeah, so I'm very, just sooner or later, sports athlete had to quit their career anyways. So that happened a bit earlier for me, but but having with that experience and with that so-called tragedy, it can be tragedy, but for me, it is a gift right now because I ended that career earlier. But thanks to that, I acquired English skills. I'm now working as a teacher, which is my dream job. I made beautiful friends abroad, which I couldn't have got and received these experiences if I still, being a softball player. So, and that's nice, right? So that's why I left Japan first.
Whoa, it's like a big shock. Like I don't know how to take it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is made me a little emotional remembering that story, recalling the time. But yeah, but I don't regret it anymore. I mean, I'm having fun. I can still teach softball to my students and I can show my performance to them. So it's okay still and fine, totally fine.
Yeah. I had no idea.
Thank you for listening.
I knew you were a good player, softball player, and you did so much practice when you were younger, when you were a student, but I didn't know to that extent you were going up for. Um, okay. Well, thanks for sharing your sensitive and personal story. And
Thank you.
that was yes, the
Yeah,
reason. Mm.
well, I left Japan.
Right. I feel like, yeah, okay. After your story, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if I have to talk mine. Um,
Yeah, but I shared mine, and it was yeah, it was a bit tough time, but like I it is now a gift for me, so it's okay. So it's gonna be your time. This is now your time to share why you left Japan first.
yeah.
So
So yeah, you really shared a long story. I don't know if
yeah,
I want to get into my story that deeply yet. But I started learning or like learning English when I was like young. I think relatively younger than average because of my mom. She was working as a international flight attendant that time, and she had a like kind of like open-mindedness and a mindset about international cultures and people. So she really influenced me, or she taught me like at home English at first, even though it was like nothing really professional that how she was teaching me. But I had an opportunity to be listening or to be reading some English books, English audio. So, and of course, I didn't know that the difference between, I guess, English and Japanese when I was really young. But maybe that kind of influenced my mindset too, to be interested and curious about other cultures and foreign countries as I grew older until high school time. And I really was into the Western music and like kind of like American or British music songs and like yeah, rocks or like even oldies, like six like Beatles or the Beach Boys or yeah, from those to like like recent like Britney Spears, those music and movies. My dad is really like big fan of American movies, Hollywood movies. So he also kind of taught me like Western or introduced me in Western cultures through movies and music. Um, so yeah, I was kind of really I was really into Western entertainment, especially American because of our history. Like Japan is really like I think like influenced by American,
True.
cultures. So so that was easy for me to get interested in American cultures first. I didn't really know even much of European cultures then. It's the easiest culture to kind of get soaked in was American. So yeah, naturally, then I became more and more interested in living in the States. But yeah, at the same time, as I grew older, towards the end of high school, I really like had a kind of like a downtime or a dark time in schools. I had some yeah like psychological problem or mental problem. Rather, I think it's not so serious, but I had kind of depression in high school and I really didn't want to go to school. And yeah, also I kind of don't want to remember that time, but yeah, to kind of recall it, it was like I was always like frustrated by like the education of high school system
Right.
in Japan. And I really wanted to do whatever I want to pursue or what I want to learn, but we were not really allowed to do that because of the university entrance exam. And we had to all kind of, at least in my school and in my class, we had to all follow like path, like academic path and like it was really like almost one way we could do to proceed to move forward after high school. And I was like I knew because of this kind of cultures that I was interested in, I knew that it was a lot more out there that I can try and I can, maybe pursue my interest and it's I was only 17 or 18 and I knew like there's a lot more going on outside my little,
Yeah.
shell. So that was my like mental frustration and yeah, with that like interest in American culture, I grew my big interest in studying in the States, not to follow this path that teachers offer
Right.
us. So yeah, I guess that's my the initial reason
Right.
I decided to
Good.
study.
Interesting. Can you
Mm,
please tell me why you chose California to go?
Los Angeles. Well,
Ah,
Hollywood probably was one of the biggest reasons. One of the reasons. But mm, UCLA, I eventually went to UCLA, but I I think from the like my information about that time, especially about living overseas or living in the States, was quite limited. So
mm,
even, it's like over 15, like 16 years ago. So I could search still on the internet, of
mm,
course, but
mm,
I had almost no one around
mm,
me who have been like have studied
mm,
abroad, and I had like like one or two relatives living in California that time,
mm,
and so
mm.
I was more maybe like keen or
Familiar.
I was, I was
Right.
more naturally, I was interested. But also, like, I don't know, Los Angeles, just the cliche of like living in California and like Santa Monica, like, Hollywood. Like, yeah,
Okay.
it was quite simple. I had really not much options to
Okay.
see. So it was quite, straightforward from the movies and well,
Hollywood, yeah, yeah. I've been to California actually with my mom for trip,
mm-hmm.
just for we were in Los Angeles
Mm.
on visit. Yeah, but like we used just Los Angeles airport to be there, and then we went to Las Vegas and some other areas for sightseeing. So I don't really remember what we did in California though.
Yeah,
But yeah, but like looking at the some pictures of California always it showed me a great beaches and just oceans
yeah,
there.
yeah.
There's
Such
so
a
many people.
like a dreamy life, right?
Yeah, like lots of
Yeah.
surfing cultures there. So yeah, that's cool. Mm.
I think not knowing much, being kind of ignorant about, you know, living overseas and not having so much information was why I chose LA. Hmm. Yeah.
LA. Cool.
Mm.
Right.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Hmm. UCLA of course was a dream school for me. Even from Hokkaido in Japan, it was I knew.
uh,
And my dad also, actually, my dad went to one program when he was a student in UCLA, so I knew the name, and I think
ah,
that was really that influenced me too. Mm.
okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Nice to know about you. Nice to know you even deeply. I knew you,
Me
but
too.
actually, we've never had this kind of like conversation before, even though we have known each other for years. But
Mhm.
so this is
Yeah,
actually a great opportunity for us to get to know each other even further. So
and those who are listening to this even like got to know us so quicker.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
that's our background, the very early background.
yeah. Initial phase of our English journey.
Yes. So yeah, we can stop here for today. Maybe
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this episode.
yeah.
We can continue to our first impression of Australia and the United States when once we got there for the first time, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
first few months or year uh, of our experience there.
Yeah. Because the things abroad is a lot different from things in Japan. Like normal things considered to be normal in Japan, it's not normal in abroad. So
Uh,
yeah, everything is
yes.
just different, but
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes. I really realized that the common sense we had in
Yeah.
Japan was not so common.
Yeah.
That was, my finding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. So today we're gonna stop here.
Yes,
And
we will.
yeah, right.
And
So
please let us know what you think about this English version of our more like free talk, our
yeah,
experience overseas, and the cultural difference to talk about, that we talk about here. If you like it or not, we are very interested in hearing your opinions uh,
yeah.
of the
So
English ones. So,
if you have any comments, just
yes,
please leave us
yes,
comments down below, either in
yeah.
Japanese or English,
Mhm.
and we will be so happy to get the comment, and we will happy to reply to you. So
Yeah,
don't be shy. We
yeah.
love to communicate with you.
Yeah, and practice writing, please.
Yeah.
All right, so we
All
will
right.
finish up and yes, see you guys again
See you
next time.
then. Bye bye.